The Bundesliga is absolutely electric right now. First up, witness the historic miracle at Muir Arena as Bayern Munich pulled off an impossible comeback against Mainz. After slipping into a 3-goal hole, second-half super subs Michael Olise, Harry Kane, and Jamal Musiala turned the tide in a masterclass performance that echoes back to 1976.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Then we shift our focus to the high-stakes clash between Köln and Bayer Leverkusen. It was a gritty, nerve-wracking affair where goalkeeper Janis Blaswich stood tall under intense pressure to keep his side in the hunt, ultimately securing a vital victory that pushes Bayer Leverkusen straight into the top 5. We are still breaking down that intense battle where Patrick Schick became the hero of the day. By clinically converting a crucial penalty and later doubling the lead with an assist from Nathan Tella, Schick proved exactly why he remains the difference-maker in tight league matchups for his squad. Finally, the drama moved from the pitch to the press room as Köln coach René Wagner fired back at Bayer Leverkusen boss Kasper H. Hjulmand over heated complaints about pitch conditions. It is a war of words that is heating up the Bundesliga standings, so stay tuned for more. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to keep up with every update. Ever wondered how the impossible actually feels? Bayern Munich just turned a disastrous 3-goal nightmare into one of the most legendary comebacks in Bundesliga history. And frankly, we all should have seen it coming. Vincent Kompany took a massive gamble at Muir Arena, rotating 8 players to keep his squad fresh for the PSG clash, but that decision blew up in his face before halftime. The defense looked disjointed. Young debutant Bara Sapoko Ndiaye was clearly overwhelmed, and Mainz was absolutely clinical. By the time Dominic Kohr and company put 3 past an unconvincing Jonas Erbig, it felt like game over. But this is Bayern, a club built on a culture of never accepting the scoreboard. Kompany didn't panic. He brought out the heavy artillery. The introduction of Michael Olise, Harry Kane, and Jamal Musiala turned the match on its head instantly. Olise was a force of nature, orchestrating everything from the first goal by Nicolas Jackson to his own stunning strike that screamed world class. Watching them dismantle, a 3-goal lead in just one half of football wasn't just impressive. It was a ruthless statement of intent that only a club of this caliber could make. We haven't seen a turnaround like this since 1976, which puts into perspective just how rare and special this performance actually was. It serves as a chilling reminder to the rest of Europe. Never write off the Bavarians until the final whistle blows. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the match, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Was Kompany's rotation a genius move or a near-catastrophic mistake? Thanks for watching, and remember, in football, the game is never truly over until the Giants decide it is. Ever felt like a game was slipping away, only for the scoreboard to tell a completely different story? That is exactly what went down as Bayer Leverkusen snatched a massive win against Köln, keeping their European dreams very much alive. The match kicked off with pure chaos. Köln came out swinging, with Jakub Kaminski and Said El-Mala turning the heat up on Leverkusen's backup keeper, Janis Blaswich, within the first 10 minutes. You could tell Leverkusen was feeling the pressure of replacing Mark Flecken after that tough midweek cup loss to Bayern. But that is the beauty of football, isn't it? Momentum shifts in a heartbeat. By the 15-minute mark, Leverkusen found their rhythm, forcing a huge save from Köln's Marvin Schweb. Now, here is where it gets gut-wrenching for the hosts. In the 36th minute, after a blunder from Quansah, El-Mala had an almost open net, but he clattered it off the post. Talk about a moment that changes the entire trajectory of a match. Just 5 minutes later, heartbreak for Köln turned into a golden opportunity for the visitors. A handball by Martel handed Leverkusen a penalty, and Patrick Schick, as cool as you like, slotted it home. It was a classic how did they not score? First half. To make matters worse for Köln, Johannesson picked up his 5th yellow, meaning he is out for the Union Berlin clash. The second half didn't bring much relief for the home fans, as Schick doubled the lead off a slick Nathan Tella assist. Even after subbing in fresh legs like Thielmann and Castromontes, the hosts looked stagnant until Luka Waldschmidt pulled one back in the 79th minute to make it 2-1. But despite some frantic, nail-biting final minutes, Leverkusen held the line to climb into 5th place. It wasn't pretty, but it was 3 points that could define their season. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of football. Sometimes, it's not about how well you play, it's about who blinks first. Ever wonder how a team can dominate the stats but walk away with absolutely nothing? Well, Leverkusen just pulled off a tactical heist against Köln, and it was a masterclass in clinical finishing versus pure frustration. The match kicked off with Köln looking like the hungrier side, rattling Leverkusen's nerves early on with Jakub Kaminski, and set Elmala putting keeper Janis Blaswich to the test immediately. You have to feel for Elmala. In the 36th minute, he had the goal at his mercy after a defensive hiccup from Kwanzaa, but somehow managed to kiss the post instead of the net. It's those moments that define a season, and unfortunately for Köln, that was a major turning point. Football is a cruel game, because just minutes later, Leverkusen were handed a lifeline when Martel committed a handball in the box. Patrick Schick stepped up and coolly slotted it home to give the visitors a lead they arguably hadn't earned through open play. To make matters worse for the hosts, Johannesson picked up his 5th yellow of the season, effectively sidelining himself for next week's clash against Union Berlin. Coming out of the tunnel, Schick struck again, doubling the lead thanks to a sharp assist from Nathan Tella, putting Köln in a massive hole. Even though Luka Waldschmidt pulled one back late in the 79th minute, triggering a wave of nerves for Leverkusen, the away side dug their heels in to lock down a crucial 2-1 win. This victory isn't just about 3 points. It catapults them into 5th place and keeps their European dreams very much alive. It wasn't pretty, but in this league, results are all that matter. Do you think Leverkusen has the consistency to secure a Champions League spot, or was this just a lucky escape? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Bundesliga breakdowns. Sometimes, the most important wins aren't the ones where you play the best, but the ones where you refuse to fold. Ever feel like a coach is looking for any excuse to explain a lackluster performance? That is exactly what went down after Bayer Leverkusen's hard-fought victory over Köln this week. 2 goals from Patrick Schick looked set to cruise Leverkusen to a win, but despite a second-half resurgence from Köln's Luka Waldschmidt, the home side just couldn't close the gap. Now, you'd think the post-match talk would focus on the tactical battle, right? Wrong. Bayer boss Kasper H. Jolmand had a bizarre bone to pick, claiming his team lacked energy because the pitch was, wait for it, too dry. He essentially blamed the grass for their second-half fatigue. But Köln manager René Wagner wasn't having any of it. He stepped up and fired back, making it crystal clear that they didn't leave the turf unwatered on purpose. It is honestly refreshing to see a coach call out these kinds of excuses as being inherently unfair. It's a classic case of blame the elements when the game doesn't go your way, but Wagner stood his ground perfectly. Was this a genuine issue, or just a classic manager's mind game? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this quick hit of Bundesliga drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Because at the end of the day, no amount of water on the pitch can hide the truth of a 90-minute performance.